Support from today's show comes from Incorporate. Incorporate's a site where, surprise, you can incorporate a business. Use the link in the show notes, thebiggamehunter.us/incorporate. And they are a fairly priced firm. After all, if you're starting a business, or you have a friend who's going to start a business, or a member of your family that's starting a business, you got to do it the legal way. Incorporate will do it for you. And with that, we'll be back in just one moment. Episode 2260 of the number one podcast in Apple Podcasts for job search. This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. Today's show is one where, again, I'm talking about personal branding because it's important. And I know many of you poo-poo it. I'm not a brand. I'm not some detergent. But you are a brand, whether you like it or not. And it's important to pay attention to shows like the ones I do around branding and networking, because those are the ones that many of you are averse to, and those are the ones you really need. Hope you find this helpful. Hope you give it an honest review wherever you listen to the show. And I just want to remind you about my request I made about going to JobScan's LinkedIn page and nominating me for the best, I believe it's career coach on LinkedIn, and just put my name into the hat. I'd really appreciate it. So it's jobscan.co is the name of the company. And if you scroll down a little bit on their page, you'll see the nominating section there. And now we'll be back in just one moment. Today's show is brought to you by Fiverr. Fiverr is a service where, frankly, you can outsource a lot of tasks to someone else and have them do it very inexpensively. If you've ever watched or observed the show notes, not the show notes, but the transcriptions for this show, what you'll see is work that's been done by someone I've hired on Fiverr. I've also had editing for my books done on Fiverr. I've had a variety of different functions done there, and I've done it for years. It saves a lot of time. It's very inexpensive, and I'll just simply say use the link in the show notes. It helps support the advertiser and lets them know that this show has meaning for you. And with that, we'll be back in just one moment. You may have heard the term branding in the context of job hunting. And you may have even started doing some work on branding. Creating a profile for yourself on LinkedIn, developing a reputation for yourself, in your profession. That's all fine and good. And if you're first learning about branding, congratulations. You're going to be doing work to help yourself, not on this job search, but on your next one. Because the fact is, branding is not something that you do overnight and suddenly people go, oh, that's Lady Gaga in front of us. That's unbelievable. Lady Gaga and others like her spent years becoming Lady Gaga. They worked on creating an image for themselves. They suddenly didn't just pop out on the scene and become rock stars. They paid their dues. They did their work. They developed the relationships and the acts in order to become Lady Gaga, for example. So think in terms of not just this job search, but more importantly, every job search that you do in the future. That even while you're doing great work and that you're happy doing what you're doing where you're doing it, you're going to be doing things to help people learn about you, to find out about you, to understand you and trust you, and thus want to hire you, rather than that absolute stranger that they know nothing about. You see, branding is the thing that gives you the edge. It's the thing that says, that's the big game hunter. He knows what he's talking about. That's how good a brand that is. So I want you to think, not in terms of being me or Lady Gaga. I want you to think in terms of what you can do to develop a reputation that others will like and trust. Not for this job search, but for every other one that you're involved with from this point on. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few things I can do to help you with your job search beyond simply being your coach. First of all, I've got a new book out called The Right Answers to Tough Interview Questions. It is like a cookbook with answers to tons of interview questions that you're going to be asked on interviews. And if you pair it up with my other new book, The Ultimate Job Interview Framework, they are a terrific pair of books to help you with interviewing. In addition, I have a new service where you can practice mock interviews. If you go to thebiggameHunter.us/mock, I've got a service there, very inexpensive, like $99, where we have mock interviews set up. I'm going to be adding more to it very soon, but you can record your answers to them, and then I can critique them and help you perform better on them. You probably have noticed my show notes are pretty thorough with products and services that can help you with your search. And connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. Lastly, my website has a ton of great information. That's thebiggamehunter.us. Now, if you're not ready to go there and go through the blog, put the address in your phone, thebiggamehunter.us, Jeff Altman. So this way, when you're ready to go, you have a way of getting back to my website. Hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great!